which is I'm still teaching Pat after 20-something years of marriage.
Hi, my name is Belinda and welcome to Pretty Tattered. In this video, my husband Pat and I are going to show you how we took items straight out of the trash and made them into profitable treasure. So if this is the kind of stuff you like, then stick around because we've been doing this for a very long time and we're excited to share our knowledge with you. Twice a year in our town, they have what's called a free trash pickup day. They have one in the spring and fall. This one's for spring for cleanup. So people throw things out on the curb and it's all free, so we drive around looking for things and we found some great items. I got this shelf. It was dirty, but I can clean it up and do something with it. I loved this big old basket. I was determined to take it. I didn't want the pink wreaths, but I did want the other wreaths except for the hay one. So I took this great big basket. I got this round basket. I really liked the round basket. I grabbed some wreaths. I didn't want this big basket here because it looked too much like an Easter basket, but I did really like these round baskets, and those round baskets were getting my wheels turning for ideas of something to do with them. So I grabbed up the baskets and the shelf, and I took them out to my car, and I wanted you guys to see how I got these baskets before I do a makeover. First, Pat will cut 2 circles out of wood that will fit inside the baskets. Then using a router, he will round out the edges. While Pat did that, I spray painted the baskets. The big one I spray painted matte black, and the small one I painted a matte ink blue. If you decide to do this makeover, you do not have to paint your baskets. I just thought it would be fun to see how they turned out. While those were drying, I sanded both pieces of wood on the belt sander. And then I cleaned them up and they were ready to be stained. These 3 round wood knobs I got at Hobby Lobby for like $1.99 a package, and I'm going to use them on the large basket. Then I'm going to stain them all with this color. It's a golden pecan. I love this color. It is so pretty. I'm going to use the same stain to stain the circles that Pat cut that will end up in the bottom of the baskets. I'm using these little plastic cones that are actually called paint risers, I believe what they're called, or paint stands. And what they do is they allow you to stain both sides, flip it, and let them dry all at once. I have never had these to mess up the stain. Actually, I've even done it with paint. Paint's a little touchier, but stain works for me every time. I think these 2 turned out absolutely beautiful. I love this wood and I love this stain. Remember, stain is only for color. They will need some clear finish to help protect the wood.
I took these little spindles that I got on clearance at Menards that look like this. They had this tip on both ends. I took it on the bandsaw and I cut the ends off of it, the little peg ends on one end. I'm going to use them as feet for one of the wood plaques that will go in the basket, and this part I'm going to just cut a hole in this wood on the bottom, and I will put that little peg part in there and glue it in. It's easier than it sounds, and I'll show you as we go along. So now I'm putting the board in the basket so I can kind of line it up so I know where I want to put the feet on it, or the legs, the little wood pegs. So you're probably now getting an idea of what I'm doing here. Basically, I am making the basket into a riser.
Set it on the block, then you can actually mark where the hole is at.
Okay, so Pat had a great idea to put a block underneath it to hold that wood in there while I mark it. And since it has these crosses on the bottom of it, I can pretty much see where I need to put these legs without actually having to get a measuring tape and measure it. After I get the pegs where I want them, I can mark the wood through those little holes and also mark the basket so I can get the basket lined back up exactly the way I have it now. So now I'm marking the spots where I want the legs. Then I will drill the holes in the round wood piece on a drill press. To get the right drill bit, I always do this. And if it's the same size, it's the right one. Some people measure it this way, but it's really hard to see that way to me. This usually works for me unless this side end is smaller than that one, which you do run into. And if that case, then you will have to go off this end. But you can tell it pretty much seems like the same. Show you that Pat has taped this off, giving the length of how far we need to drill in. Works really good that way. Okay, so tighten this thing up. And then we're going to drill. We're going to drill the holes where we Marked them if I can see them. That one's right there. Close enough. Okay, that's good. And stop. I want to test it to make sure the length is correct. I put that in there and that looks great. See, isn't that going to look cool? It's going to be so pretty. Okay, so gotta cut the rest of them now. I can see my little X's over here in the dark. Okay, now what you gotta do is you gotta vacuum up your mess, which is I'm still teaching Pat after 20-something years of marriage. That after you use it, you should vacuum it up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the basket on it and we're going to glue it on.
All right, let's go over there.
My block with the smiley face on it. I actually picked this up on Roadside Day when the community, you know, everybody can put their trash out and the city picks it up for free. And I found a bucket full of blocks and stuff and I'm like, hey, I can use those. So I took this and they had already painted the face on it. I didn't do that, but I thought it was cute anyway.
That's Mr. Block.
Mr. Block. Okay, so we're going to take that out. Line this basket back up where I marked it. You guys see the marks because I don't see them. Oh, it's the second one's in. That's right. Okay. Oh, so are you making fun of the way I drilled my holes? That's, I see. Just as what I need.
Pointing out a challenge.
I need someone to come and be, you know, review critically.
Looks like it's going to work.
We invented a new game. I'm going to try some clamps here. See if that'll work. And we're going to use some wood glue.
Here I'm adding small amounts of glue to the holes and then attaching the feet. With the help of my OxyClean container, it will give us the lift we need to add clamps that will hold the feet in place until the glue is dry. And remember that when you clamp these legs down, the glue's going to come out and you'll need to clean it up. I use wet paper towel and toothpicks. That way I can really get down into the little crevices. In about an hour, the glue will be dry enough that you can actually use it. If you let it sit overnight, of course it's going to be stronger to handle more strength. But an hour should be good. Basket number 2. The difference with this basket is that I'm going to use these wooden balls that I got from Hobby Lobby. They have holes in them, so I'm going to take dowel rods. I will cut them down to fit into the wood ball, and then I want to make sure that they are not too long or too short to fit into the wood. So I'll measure them here, and then I'll mark them off, and then I'll cut these little rods, and then I'll drill holes into the wood for the rods to fit into. Now I've got the 3 holes drilled. I'm going to take the little rods that I cut, and after I apply glue in the holes, I'm going to attach these before I put the basket on. Then I'll put the basket over it, and then I'll glue on the little wooden ball feet. Now we've got it all clamped down, and we're just going to wait for it to dry.
All right, it is time to check them out. See if they have all set. It's been a while. We'll do this one first because it was done first. Looks pretty steady. That's good. All right. What do you think? Look at the little feet. They're so cute. I think it looks adorable. I need to touch up the paint though, don't I?
Oh, it was the clamps.
Knock the paint off. So I'm going to repaint it there and then spray the whole thing with a clear finish. Dang. I didn't think about them knocking the paint off, but they did. But look at that. That worked out so good. I love it. That's an idea. And then I'm going to show you what you can do with it to make it look really cool when you decorate.
Now for the black one.
This one has to be touched up on the paint too. But this is so cute. Look at that. Isn't that cute? They are absolutely adorable. Touch up the paint, put some clear finish sprayed over it to help keep that paint from coming off. And then we're going to show you them all set out and decorated and really pretty.
Pat has made a board that allows him to make perfect circles. He just attaches it to the bandsaw
and it will cut out perfect circles. But if you don't have this, there are alternatives. An alternative is like the bottom of a cloche. Let's say that you actually broke the glass part of the cloche, but you still have the bottom. These would work great in baskets, so save them. If you don't want to add baskets, just add the feet, and you still have a riser. You can paint or stain them. Remember, you can do this with any basket. If you have oval-shaped wood, this basket already has wood in it. All you need to do is add the feet. It would look so cute. You could decorate it with all kinds of stuff. You could put nesting in it and put little birds in it or rabbits. You could add wood to this one and feet. It'd be so cute. So anytime you find a round board at a yard sale or at a thrift store really cheap, you might want to pick it up because there are a lot of things you can do with wood. I love wood. Wood is my favorite material because there's so many things you can do with it and so many looks. DIY on how to save a basket from the trash, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. Thank you very much for watching, and if you like the video, do a thumbs up. Bye. See you in the next video, and please leave comments. Oh my God, look, it's Kermit. Hey Kermit.